Did you know that 99% of the time you are not actually going to feel pain within your throat when you're straining your voice? Do you find that your voice closes up when you go to sing higher? Do you feel like you're reaching the ceiling of your voice, that it scratches when you're singing? Then this video is definitely for you. Kia ora and welcome back. My name is Zoe Stibi, your vocal coach for today. And in today's video, we're going to go over one of the main causes of vocal strain, and we're going to go through an exercise as to how you can sing clearer and with more resonance in your voice. So let's get straight to the video. But Zoe, if it doesn't even feel like it's going to hurt, maybe I just can't even sing. It definitely doesn't mean that you can't sing, but vocal strain can range from a slight scratch when you're singing or a note catching or breaking. The feeling of the voice being dry, the feeling of you pushing as hard as you can, the feeling like you're reaching the top of your voice. It just feels very tight and hard. And the most overlooked telltale sign of vocal strain is the simple cough. If you're coughing, it's your vocal folds' way of telling you that they've had enough and they want you to back off. Whatever your feeling of vocal strain might be, it can be helped with vocal techniques. So if you would like to get singing today, then check out my free singing lesson available in the description below. We go into everything that is the tongue position, which is one of the leading causes of vocal strain. So check it out in the description below. Anatomically, there is never just one thing happening in the voice, and it's often a combination of things that are going on that are causing the vocal strain. One of the main culprits, though, for vocal strain are the false vocal folds. If you see here from the diagram, you can see we have the vocal folds, or we call them the true vocal folds, that create the sound, like my speaking voice, like your singing voice. And then you have the false vocal folds sitting over top of the true vocal folds. Those are little flaps of skin, and they are part of the three-part closing mechanism to help protect the airway. So what we can see here when we look at Steven Tyler's vocal folds, you can see the true vocal folds are moving with the sound, and the false vocal folds are pushing or coming over top of the true vocal folds. Now, this is what we call constriction of those false vocal folds. It's a completely natural movement, and it actually occurs every single time we swallow. So begin that three-part locking system to help protect our lungs. What happens when we swallow is the true vocal folds close, the false vocal folds close over top, and then the epiglottis comes down, whack, like a big trap door down on top. And that is how the larynx closes itself down so that the liquid or the food or whatever we're eating at the time can pass down our esophagus and not go down our airway. Now we're going to try to find our larynges. I want you to take your finger, put it on your chin, and draw a line. Make sure you're looking straight forward. Don't look upwards. Draw a line straight down. Without talking, you're going to feel the first sort of bauble, yeah? This is your Adam's apple. Now, we females also have an Adam's apple, and I want you to swallow for me. What did you notice? In which direction did the larynx go? Try it again. Yes, it went up, didn't it? When we sing higher, though, what happens to our larynx as well? So take that finger, place it on your chin, get hold of your thyroid cartilage or your Adam's apple, and I want you to sing just any type of high note. It doesn't have to be a pretty one. What happens to your larynx? Yeah, it goes up. So when we're swallowing, it goes up, and when we're singing higher, it goes up. So what happens is when we sing higher in our range, the larynx must raise for the pitch, and our throat goes, oh no, we're trying to swallow, we must protect the lungs, and it closes the throat in order to protect those lungs, but we want to sing. So we need to figure out a way to override that natural mechanism of the swallow and keep the walls of the larynx and the pharynx wide so that we can allow the vocal folds to swing and sing clearly. Now, I just want to pop in here before we get into the exercise to say that constriction is a very, very, very useful tool and a much needed effect for some types of singing. But when we're singing, we utilize much, much lower levels of constriction and volume to keep the vocal folds moving while still having that scratchy or constricted sound. But that is a video for another day entirely. In this video, we're going to be going over how you can sing with a clear sound to gain resonance with your voice. What we're going to do though is we're going to isolate the false vocal folds and the true vocal folds, okay? Just remember I said that we can't really isolate just one thing in the throat. So what we're really talking about is the false vocal folds, but also the walls of the pharynx and to widen them to allow those vocal folds to swing nicely. What we're going to do is we're going to do what's called negative practice. So we're going to contract those muscles that we're actually trying to widen so that we can feel them a lot easier. And then we're going to release them so that we can feel more of that opening within the throat. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to pretend like I've got my desk here. I want you to pretend like you're lifting something really heavy. It could be yourself. It could be your desk. I don't want you to put tone in it just yet. Yeah. And feel that. I always call it my old man sound. You know, like when your granddad's getting up from the chair. Now I want you to try and find your true vocal folds. Excellent. Let's just go between those two. Really light. I like to think about it like a butterfly clapping. Yeah. If you need a little bit more time to find that, I want you to take some, but we really want to focus on the rather than spending a load of time on the okay, we said negative practice. We don't want to like work on those muscles really, really hard. Can you feel though that straining feeling, the false vocal folds closing, is actually occurring above the vocal folds? Okay, try it again. You're going to feel ever so slightly, and we're talking like millimeters of difference. You're going to feel ever so slightly that strain is happening above the vocal folds. But we saw that in the diagram as well. Now I want you to take note of what's happening in the tummy, what's happening in your head and your neck, what's happening in your jaw, what's happening with your teeth. I know we're not going to go into posture and breathing right now, but they are really important parts about learning to sing without strain. But you can actually sign up for my free masterclass in the description below, which we're going to go over the 3 main ways that I help my students to sing without strain. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take that constriction sound that we just did without sound, and we're going to add a little bit more breath, and we're going to do it all at once. So we're going to go and release. Again, if you need some more time, just pause the video and take a moment to really feel that activation and that release of the muscles above the vocal folds. Now we're going to move on to the tone. I want you to find an easy note within your chest voice sound. What you can do is count from 20 down to 1 backwards. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you notice that my voice has just dropped a little bit because I was very excited. I've been recording for a little bit of time. And so my set point for my chest voice had moved up a little bit, and I want to just relax down into the natural set point of my voice. But I want you to pause the video, try it again without me giving you the note. Try it 2 or 3 times to find that note. So I'm about here. So I'm just sort of approximately around the G3, which is the G below middle C. But again, I want you to find your set point for your chest voice. And we're going to do it on an vowel. Now, I'm well aware that is not a vowel, but you catch my drift. And we're going to constrict and then release on that sound. And we're getting that opening that we want within the throat. So try for me. Now, just notice if you do it too much, the sound stops altogether. So we're trying to find some magic point where we can still keep singing and then release onto that sound. Now, if you need to pretend like you're picking up something heavy, to feel that difference, then that's also really fun. If you're like, actually, Zoe, I'm finding the scratchy sound really difficult, then you can keep going. The purpose of this video is to work on the expansion of the walls of the pharynx and inside the larynx, and not really to work on the constriction part of it. So now that you are able to control that constriction versus the retraction, we're going to move that free, clear sound further up in the range. And we're going to think internally about widening the walls of that throat and keeping a clear sound without scratch. There's a couple of ways that we can do this. We can focus on an internal smile, like someone said something funny at a meeting and you're not allowed to laugh. You could focus on an external smile. That's going to help to raise the soft palate and also to widen inside the throat. You could also think about smelling a flower. That's also going to widen the throat. And you can also think a little bit about that start of a yawn. I just wanted to put a caveat in here and say, when you do think about the yawn, just be a little bit careful because the yawn usually triggers that the larynx goes down as well. And that's not really what we're looking for here. Again, things to watch out for. We're going to not talk about posture so much, but just really quickly, lift your arms up above your head. Let your shoulders go downwards. And then you're going to let your arms go back down to your sides, leave your shoulders there, and that's sort of approximately what we're looking for with a nice high sternum. Shoulders are back and down for this exercise. I want you to make sure that your chin is facing forward. You're not lifting up. You're not looking down. You're just looking here straight forward in front of you. If you would like to sit down, that's also fine. Let's go up the range. We're going to be starting at that G below middle C, and we're going to be working our way up. Cool. I want you to keep that nice internal sound. I'm going to play it for you, and you're going to keep going. Again, keeping that Just a note here, really focus on those thicker vocal folds, yeah? And having a clean sound. I'm focusing really on that internal smile, okay? Let's keep going. How did you get on? Let me know down in the comments if you've got any questions about going further up in your range with this chest voice sound. Now, obviously, this really depends on what voice quality you're looking to work on, but the essential idea is exactly the same no matter where you are within the range. If you're looking for the head voice, I want you to think about that internal smile, and I want you to try and find a part of your voice that doesn't scratch, and then you work from there ever so slightly, which is why I suggested we started from a comfortable chest voice place, because that part of the voice for most people is not a scratchy, constricted part of the voice. If you did, however, feel like you were scratching, you felt your voice catching, or you felt the need to cough, I want you to take a drink of water, try again, and really focus on that internal expansion. Maybe you need to go back to part one again and work on that change between the constriction and the retraction. So how did you get on? If you managed to get up there and you were able to control it, you felt like, whoa, this is totally different, then absolutely well done. If you didn't, fantastic. It's really great to see you working on your voice, and that is the most important part about it all. You can check out my free MP3 of this exercise to download down in the description below, because I am here to help you to improve your voices for free here over on YouTube. My brand new singing course, Sing Without Strain, is going to be available from November. So if you would like to get on board with my free masterclass, then check out the link in the description below, because I'm going to be going over the 3 main causes of vocal strain and how you can remedy them. But thank you so much for being here. It's been fantastic to go over the constriction and retraction exercise with you. Check out my vocal exercise up here, Singing 101, where we go onto the glottal onset, which is really important when working with the chest voice. If you want to see more videos like this, then give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you around here next time. Happy singing, ka kite anō.